Hello and welcome to this tutorial from the FAL ICT Academy video library. In this tutorial, I am going to show you how to insert a chart inside a Microsoft Excel worksheet. Now, as you can see, I have a piece of information here and I want to create a chart for it. Now, what I'm going to do first is I will make sure I, you know, calculate this first and then format the numbers properly. So what I'm going to do is first I am going to find the total expenditure, so I'll just highlight these values and then click auto sum so that I will have the total. So the total expenditure is 11,100, right? So this was the formula that was used by Excel, so that is equal to sum B4 is to B8. Now if I want to know the balance, I will just say equals to the income minus the total expenditure, and this will give me 3,900. Now if I want to format this so that it will have the currency symbol and a comma with two decimal places, what I need to do first is to highlight them. Now if I want, I can highlight all of them like this, including the empty cells, or if I want, I can click on this one, hold down the control key, highlight this area and then click here. So now I can go to the number group and I click on the dialog box launcher, or if I want, I could also press Ctrl and 1. So within this dialog box, I have to make sure that I'm on the number tab, and then I go to the currency group, and as you can see, by default it is the dollar sign. So I'm going to change that to GMD, Gambian dollar. So after clicking the list, just press G several times. So 1 2 3 4 5 6. So you see I have GMD, so I can click GMD, and now as you can see, it will show you a sample. That means this is how your numbers are going to be formatted. So as you can see, the decimal place is 0. If you want, you can decrease it to 1 decimal or 0 decimal, and I guess 2 decimals is okay, so let's leave it to 2 decimals, and then we click OK. So whenever you see this, it doesn't mean that, in most cases it is not an error. So all you need to do is just expand the column width, then you will see that just means that your values does not fit in the column, so you just need to expand it. So from there I can highlight it and then apply a border. So now what I want is to create a graphical presentation of this data, that means raw data. So always it depends on how the information is arranged on your sheet. So that's the time, so always it depends on how you arrange your information on the worksheet, that determines the type of chart that you should choose. Now as you can see here, I'm only having data within 2 columns, so the best chart type I can choose here is going to be the pie chart. So I'll go to the insert tab. So be careful the area that you select. Look at here, we are only choosing the raw data. So I'll go to the insert tab and then I click pie. So you see I have 2 categories of pie chart. You have 2D pie charts and you have 3D pie charts. So let's say I choose the 3D pie chart. So this will insert a chart inside the spreadsheet. Now I can reduce the size of the pie chart. So remember, if you are going to drag it, let me just zoom out so that I can see the chart. So if I want to move it, I have to make sure that I place my mouse pointer on the border and then drag it. So I can leave the chart side by side with the information here. Now as you can see, my chart is ready. So I have the furniture, the cement, the nails, the wood and the sand listed here. Now remember, this chart is referring to this information. So anytime I make changes here, let's say for example the biggest slice here is wood. So if I make changes to wood, let's say I change wood to 3,000. So when I change wood to 3,000, you will see that the total here will adjust. You see it is now 10,100 instead of 11,100, and this one also will change the balance. Before it was 3,900 and now it is 4,900, and you also realize that the slice of wood also has changed. So this value here, right, this chart here is referencing to this data, so anytime we make changes it will automatically update. So you can add things like, to make the chart more meaningful, you can add chart title. Let's say I add a chart title, so I can type the title that I want here. So let's say maybe I name it as expenditure I can also add within the same group. See the chart tools. Anytime you insert a chart inside your spreadsheet, you will see the chart tools. So I can go to data labels and I choose one of these. Let's say I say center. So this will show me the values of each slice. Have you seen that? And if I want, I can also change this to percentages. So how will I do that? I will go to the design tab of the chart tools, and as you can see, I have the chart layouts here, different ones. So when I click on the first one here, that is layout 1, that will give me the name of the items and their percentages. You also have other ones here, so you just have to choose until you find what you want, right? Great. So let's say, for example, you want to move this chart from this sheet and you place it on another sheet. So as you can see, all this information they are in sheet 1. So if I want to move it to another sheet, I can right click at this empty space and I will see move. Or if I want, when I click on the chart, I have to make sure that I'm on the design tab, and then from there I click on move and I come here. So here it says choose where you want the chart to be placed, as a new sheet or as an object in sheet, or in sheet 1 or any of the sheets in your workbook. So I want to place it on a new sheet, so maybe I can name this as a pie chart, and then I click OK. So this will move the chart from sheet 1. As you can see, it is no more there, to pie chart. So I have moved the chart from sheet 1 to a sheet called pie chart, but still the data will correspond. So anytime I make changes here, it will also reflect on this place, right? Okay, now I am gonna show you how to create another type of chart, which is called a column or a bar chart. So first, let me just find the total of this range here. So I'm going to highlight this area like that, and I click auto sum, and then I find the total. So let me also find the average, and then I highlight this area to find the average, and then press enter, and then I use the autofill option to get all the averages. And here also I can find the highest mark, so by using the max function, and then I highlight. So now I have my highest mark. The lowest mark I can use min, and then highlight this area to have the lowest mark. Then from there I can drag so that I will have the highest and lowest marks of all the other tests. So now what I want to do is let me first apply a border to the information, and then the title, let me just merge it and center it like that. Apply bold, increase the size 12. Maybe I also bold this area. Maybe I change the fill color, something light, yes, something like that. Okay, now okay, let me apply a bold here also. So let's say I want to create a column or a bar chart. So what I can do is, first let me just highlight the raw data. As you can see, I have highlighted the raw data. So I want to create a chart for this one. So this one I'm not going to choose the pie chart. So the best chart type here is either going to be a column chart or a bar chart. So I'm going to choose a bar chart for this. So I'm going to the insert tab, and then I click bar. So when I click bar, I will see 2D bar chart, 3D cylinder. So let me choose 3D because I like 3D. So now I have a chart, a bar chart based on my selection. As you can see, I have a bar chart, right? The names of the students are listed here: test 2, test 3, and test 1, and each test is having a color within the chart. Now remember, you can also move this one just like what we did in the previous chart. We can also move it to a new sheet. Are you getting that? So as easy as that. But let's say, for example, let me just delete this. So to delete the chart, just click on the border and press delete. Now let's say, for example, if you want to still create a pie chart, maybe you want to choose the names and the averages, and you create a chart for them. So you can highlight the names only and their corresponding averages. Are you getting that? The names and their corresponding averages. So that means you can choose columns that are not adjacent. For example, if I highlight this area, I have to hold down the control key and highlight the other area. So these two columns that are not adjacent, I can create a chart for them. So I can go to the insert tab, I click pie, and I choose the pie chart. So that means I have created a chart type. I've created a pie chart for the name and the average column. Quickest way of inserting a chart, very quick. So first, what you need to do is just highlight the area that you want to create chart for. Then from there, press the function key F11, right? Did you hear what I said? I said highlight the area, right, that you want to create a chart for. Let's say here in this case we are just choosing the raw data. From there, press the function key F11. So when you press function key F11, what will do, that one will not only create a chart for you, it will create a chart for you and then move it to another sheet. Have you seen that? So our chart was here, sorry, it was on C2, and we press F11, and as you can see, it will automatically create a new sheet and put the column chart inside there. So if at all you don't want this chart type, you want a bar chart, you can still come to design and then you change the chart type. But that's the fastest way you can easily create a chart and then move it to another sheet, right? So that's all we have to learn about charts for now, and thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe.